It was a position 5 to 9 position, and you did not need college. All you needed was a 24-hour business credit hours. And the only people then at that time that had GS-11 positions was management or supervisors. A key punch operator at that time was, well, you would, the buyers or the clerical people at that time would, when they did their awards, they would had like a huge sheet of paper. It was like 11 by 16, and you would put all your information on that, like the company name and everything. It had all sorts of questions, and then it would come to the key punch operator, and you would type all that information onto key punch cards. And when you got done typing all that information on the key punch cards, then it was like a huge, it was probably a 12-inch box, and it would have all these key punch cards on it, which was just like probably maybe 5 by 7 cards. And then you would take them after they got done, and then you would take them to these huge, humongous computers that we had then, and you would run it on there, and that's how the awards were done. Whereas today, you just do it all by computer. When we first got the first computer we had like one computer, and then you had to, everybody had to schedule a time so you could go and work on that computer. And that was a blessing, because otherwise you had to do things by typewriter, and if you made a mistake on a typewriter, it was terrible, because you had to make 3 copies of everything you did. So if you made a mistake, you had to correct all 3 copies or start all over. When I first started, the desks were huge gray metal desks that weighed a ton, and they were all lined up in rows. And you were all just crowded all together, just row after row after row. And numerous people at that time just smoked really, really heavy in there. So it was real smoky, and the buildings we worked in didn't have air conditioning, and you had to work with these huge, big, like airplane fans that they had close to the ceiling, and they would just blow to circulate the air. So you just worked in stale air buildings. It was horrible. I had a lady supervisor, and she was very adamant that women wore dresses with pantyhose and pumps. You could not come to work in slacks at all. So you had to, and the length of the dress had to be a certain length. You couldn't have short dresses. They had to be like knee length or below. So it was hard for women back then. For me, it's just, I love it because it's an equal opportunity employer. I say that because if you're a GS-11 and you are a woman, or if you are a man, and you get the same equal pay, no matter what, whereas outside in the private industry, that may not happen, and even may not happen today. Men might still make more money than women. So I think that's one of the major issues why I stayed. I think we have done a wonderful job with supporting the troops and helping all that we can out in the field with the people that need us. So, and I hope that we can continue on.
The mission of Airmen Against Drunk Driving as a whole is to make sure that we are using the wingman concept as well as possible, and to pick up individuals who don't have a plan, their plan falls through when they're out, and if they're intoxicated, that we are here to help them. The way that you can utilize Airmen Against Drunk Driving is by contacting us over here at 801-777-1111 on Fridays and Saturday nights from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. And this will bring you to our dispatchers here over at Airmen Against Drunk Driving, and they'll be able to get some information from you, including your name, how many passengers you have, and where you need to get picked up at. And when our dispatchers actually arrive, you'll just need to provide your CAC or your DOD ID. We pick up anybody who works on base: Airmen, Reserve, National Guard, DoD civilians.
We're just there just to make sure they get home safe. We're not there to, get anybody in trouble. We don't call, first sergeants or anything like that. Like, we are just there to give them a ride home. That's all.
I just got to Hill 4 months ago. I think this is my 3rd or 4th time volunteering here with AADD, but I'm hoping to do it a lot more often. I've had some experiences in my past with drunk drivers. I was actually hit by one, and so I think it's really important that people have a safe ride home and aren't putting their lives in danger and other people's lives in danger. So that's why I volunteer.
In most states, the blood alcohol concentration level to drive is 0.08, but Utah is one of those more unique states where it's actually 0.05. This is why you need to have a plan when you go out, and you need to make sure that you are controlling yourself while you are out.
I get a lot of satisfaction from volunteering with Airmen Against Drunk Driving because I know that I am saving lives. Even if it's not, not every person that drinks and drive is going to get pulled over. Not every person that drinks and drive is going to kill someone or be killed. But knowing that I'm making sure that there is zero possibility of it happening, it fills my heart and makes me feel like I'm actually doing the right thing and protecting the people that are around me.
The Airmen Against Drunk Driving is located at the Airmen Recreation Center. If you are trying to volunteer on the weekend, you can either show up at the ARC, which is located across from the 341 dorms, or you can contact the Airmen Against Drunk Driving Council. There are many amenities here at the Airmen Recreation Center for volunteers, many plasma screen TVs, there's a movie theater, a computer lab for if people wanted to just go in there, finish some work, or just have a quiet place to read or just study. There's many couches in here as well. There's pool that they can play. So we provide pizza every single time you volunteer. So Friday and Saturday nights, we provide pizza both nights. We have to work together in order to save people's lives. We have to work together in order to accomplish things, because nothing can ever be done alone. So that's why I tell people to volunteer. It's a great opportunity to meet new people as well. The airmen here on base are the most important thing to the Air Force, because without us, we can't do our jobs. The Air Force can't do their mission, and we can't accomplish anything. So we have to be as good as we possibly can be for the Air Force, and we have to take care of each other. That whole airman concept and that wingman concept. Take care of each other, and this is what this organization is meant for.